Hey everyone, in this video I'm gonna be organizing my single eyeshadows. I already did a video where I decluttered my single eyeshadows, my pot eyeshadows and my magnetic single eyeshadows that I have in my magnetic palettes. And in that video I already told you that I was waiting for some magnetic palettes so I could reorganize my magnetic singles. So in the meantime, my magnetic palettes have arrived. I ordered some from Colourpop that were on sale. Not all of them, but there were a few magnetic eyeshadow palettes on sale at Colourpop. And I also ordered some Lethal Cosmetics singles that I'm gonna be putting in the palette. And that's kind of also like a first impression unboxing kind of thing because I haven't seen them yet. So that's also part of this video. I'm also like unpacking some new eyeshadows. So I'm really excited about this video. I'm really excited to organize my single eyeshadows. Been waiting for this moment for quite some time. For a long time I felt like I wasn't really satisfied with the way I had organized it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get into the video. Before we start, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love doing looks, swatches, reviews, will I buy it videos, also declutters and organizations. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. I upload about 2 to 3 videos a week and I would love to see you again on my channel. So I have basically everything that I have right now here in front of me. And I think I want to start with these new Lethal Cosmetics singles that I got. They are still in the packaging. I haven't looked at them. Lethal Cosmetics had a sale actually. They had a sale where there was 30% off build your own palettes. So I was already looking at them for quite some time. I already built some palettes and I was thinking, what should I do? I wanted to try them sometime. But in the meantime, there were also so many like interesting releases that kind of like went in front of them in the line. So they kind of got pushed back. But because there was a sale, I was like, you know, this might be a good time to try them. So I think I'm just gonna get everything I got from Lethal in front of me first. And I'm gonna take these out of the packaging and put them in the palette. So from Lethal I got a bunch of single eyeshadows. I also got 2 empty magnetic palettes because I still felt like I didn't have enough. I just feel like if you don't have enough magnetic palettes, you don't really have the freedom to build color stories. So that's why I bought an extra one. Also because I wanted free shipping. I also got this little depotting tool that I was actually really interested in. This can be used to take eyeshadows out of a magnetic palette. And I felt like if I bought from Lethal Cosmetics, this would be a really great thing to have. I also saw this in other YouTube videos and I felt like it would come in really handy. So let me just get all these eyeshadows out of the packaging and onto my table. So they actually come in this little paper sleeve. And then you open it like this. Let me see. They are really easy to take out. So let me take all of these out of the packaging. So these are all the shadows that I got from Lethal Cosmetics. Some of these look a little bit different in real life than they looked on the website. I'm not really sure now which is which exactly. So I got 15 eyeshadows and I also got 2 magnetic palettes. I got two magnetic palettes that are actually white. They look really bright on camera. I'm sorry about that. I actually thought that I got a black one and a white one, but I have 2 white ones. I think they're gonna get quite dirty quite fast, but I guess that's just how it's gonna be. Hopefully I can kind of clean them when they get really dirty. I already see a lot of eyeshadow here on my table, so I'm just gonna get one of these palettes out. So I have 15 eyeshadows and these palettes actually have room for 12. So I kind of have to think about what kind of color story I want to do, which ones I want to leave out and put into another palette. So I have some purples here, some periwinkle tones, also some more kind of springy pastel vibes, and then I also have some darker tones that are a little bit more grungy. I have some greens, I have some browns here. This one is more of a cool tone brown, this one is more of a warm tone brown. I think I'm not gonna put this light orange in the palette. I feel like it doesn't really go with the rest. And this one is called Cycle. It's kind of like a light tangerine shade. I think it would be really nice for like pastel or summery looks. And I don't think I'm gonna put in this light yellow for now. This one is called Helios. And I think I'm also not gonna put in this light green called Void. But at the same time, that's one I really want to use with these other green shades. Maybe I'm gonna take out this shade for now. And this shade is called Vertigo. Yes, I think I'm just gonna take out these three light pastel shades, and then I'm just gonna put these in the palette and see how I feel about that. So this cool tone dark brown is called Nocturnal. And this dark kind of inky blue is called Deceit. So this kind of darker cool tone purple is called Night Call. I'm kind of unsure how I want to place these eyeshadows. I want it to be like quite a satisfying color story, but maybe I should just not think about it too much. Let's get this shade. This one is called Lithium. This is kind of like a bronzy shimmer. This teal shimmer is called Equilibrium. Let's place that one here. Then let's grab this green shade called Void. I think I'm now gonna take this reddish brown shade. This one is called Corrosion. Wait, I'm now seeing that I'm not putting this in the right way. Corrosion. Then this inky blue that is a little bit lighter than the other one is called Insomnia. Let's take this kind of cool toned lilac in the shade Sequence. I'm gonna put that over here. I think I'm gonna put this one there, and then this shade called Inertia I'm gonna put here. Then I'm gonna take this shade called Crossroads. Put it in here. And this shade is called Altitude. Put it there. So how do you feel about this? I think it looks pretty good. Maybe like the light green is a little bit out of place, but I'm gonna be filming a video soon with this eyeshadows, and I'm feeling this eyeshadow. I feel like I really want to try that one, so that's why I want it to be in this palette. I think we have some really interesting shades here, some really interesting more neutral tones, but also some really nice periwinkle shades. I think this one would be really nice to deepen up periwinkle looks. This one also looks like a really beautiful purple, so I think I'm gonna keep this palette like this for now. I'm not really sure what I want to do with these three singles that don't have a home yet, because I do want to use them in the video, but probably they're gonna end up in a palette with some other shades. Let me just clean this table a little bit, because there's so much teal eyeshadow on this table right now. And my hands are completely covered in eyeshadow. I didn't even swatch anything. So I'm just gonna keep this to the side for now, because I'm not really sure what I want to do with that yet. My white palette is of course already really dirty, because I don't know if you can see it, because like this table is completely covered in eyeshadow. In the end, I'm gonna try and clean this up a little bit. So let me just grab all my other single eyeshadows. I'm just gonna take them out of the palettes and then see how much I have and what I want to do with it. I think I'm gonna keep these two together for sure. I just really like to have these two like a duo in this palette. I always know where to grab them. And these are eyeshadows that are special enough in my collection for me to grab them, to really think that I want to use them and grab them. So I don't really need them to be in a special other place for me to reach for them. By the way, these are Perry and Wink from Give Me Glow. If you want some more information about all the different eyeshadows and why I kept them and which I decluttered, then you should definitely watch my declutter. I think I'm not really gonna be telling you all the names today, because that's gonna take too long, and I already talked about them, like all the specific shades in my declutter, except for my Nabla ones. For those I have a special separate video where I talk about them and swatch them. So I really hate these little H&M magnetic palettes. The magnet is so strong, so I'm gonna be really careful and try to take out my eyeshadows without ruining them. So this one already got dinged because of the palette. One thing I know for sure, I'm never using these little palettes again. So these are all my other single eyeshadows, and I'm realizing that I probably have some more room in my magnetic palettes than I actually need, looking at how many I have here. But that's absolutely fine, because I also just want to create some different color stories, and there are also some other single eyeshadows on their way to me. So I got this big magnetic palette from Colourpop. This has a lot of room. I think like half of this would already fit in here. Then I have this medium palette from Colourpop. This could also hold quite a lot of shadows. I definitely like using this little Nabla palette. This holds 6 Nabla eyeshadows, but it could hold some more eyeshadows if I put smaller ones in there. And then I also have this little Colourpop 9 pen. This fits 9 little shadows. This fits 9 little shadows by Colourpop. And then of course I have that extra 12 pen by Lethal Cosmetics. So I'm kind of thinking what I want to do. I see that I have a lot of purple shades here, some cool tone nudes, and then some more warm reddish shades. These are definitely something else, something new in my single eyeshadow collection. I also have some blue in here. I also have this green by Give Me Glow that's called Gifts Galore. That's a really beautiful shade. This is actually the first time that I'm really organizing my single eyeshadows, and I really have decent palettes, I hope. I haven't really tried most of these, but I feel like they're gonna be a lot better than what I had. So this is the first time I'm actually organizing my single eyeshadows, and I'm a little unsure what to do. Do I want to make color stories? Do I want to put the similar colors together? I'm kind of thinking that I want to put some of these blue shades together and then add some other pops of color. So I think I'm just gonna take this medium palette by Colourpop, and I'm just gonna take this I'm Too Royal shade by Give Me Glow first, putting this one in here. I think this one would work really well with that one. This one is called Enamel by Cleonat. Then let's take this shade. I think this would be nice for deepening up. This one is called Blue Velvet by Nabla. And maybe let's take this shade. This shade is called Alchemy by Nabla as well. I think I also want to take this one. This one is called Cheddar Mark by Nabla. This is kind of like your cool toned Dove gray shade. And then maybe let's spice it up with some yellows. I think the combination of yellow and blue can be really interesting and kind of like summery and bright. So let's take this shade by Lethal called Vertigo. And then this shade called Helios. Let's see if I can still fit this in here somewhere. And then I think I'm gonna take this multicolor glitter by H&M. This is like a pressed glitter by H&M Beauty. This has a lot of different colors glitter in there. I haven't really used it a lot, but I do like this formula and I think this is a really pretty color. I don't know what the name of this is because I couldn't find my information of my order in the my H&M account, and this one doesn't have any name on the back. I'm thinking maybe I should start labeling my single eyeshadows, but for these it's a little bit too late. So I'm also gonna put this one in if it fits somewhere. It's not perfect, but it's alright. I'm gonna accept this the way it is right now. So we have some interesting blue yellow shades, and then we also have this glitter here. Yes, I think I'm gonna keep this for now. I think I'm happy with this color story right now. So now maybe let's do something a little bit warm toned and neutral to give this a little tangerine shade a bit of a place in my collection. So let me take out the more warm tones that I think might look good together. Maybe a pop of green, or maybe this kind of champagne shade, but I don't know. I feel like it kind of takes away from this color story. This one maybe, or maybe this one. No, I think I'm just gonna take these 6 little eyeshadows. And I think I'm gonna put them in this little Nabla 6 pen. Shit, oh no, I just ruined an eyeshadow. I just poked it with my nail. Let me just try to fix that a little bit. I guess it looks alright again. Which one is this? Mystic. This is one of my favorites. I just poked one of my favorite eyeshadows. It happens. So let's continue. Hopefully this fits. I think it's just a little too small. Let's put it in this Colourpop one and see if this fits. I don't think this is gonna fit. So I guess then we have to turn to Lethal, the Lethal empty palette. Let's take out this other palette and get it dirty. So this is another of those Lethal empty magnetic palettes. Let me just make some room. So this is the kind of a red toned palette with a pop of orange and a pop of green. This is definitely different from me. I don't feel like I really have something like this. Yeah, I feel like this is quite a different color story for me. So that is that one. This is not making it any better, I'm just making it worse. I'm thinking of maybe putting some kind of like olivey warm tones, some kind of neutral tones together. Maybe something like this. It's not really like a complete color story. Maybe some glitter or maybe this transition shade. Let me just see if this would fit in this little palette. Probably not, but let me just try it out. No, I don't think that's gonna fit. But maybe I quite like it like this. Maybe this one. Maybe I can put in kind of like a transition shade. Maybe this. I feel like it kind of looks like a grungy cool tone palette. I do really see some looks with these. I see some potential here. So I think I'm gonna keep this like this. Probably I'm gonna reorganize my single eyeshadows again quite soon after I get some of my orders in, and when I've done my Lethal Cosmetics video, I also think I'm just gonna like mix them in with some other shades and make some other color stories. But I think this looks quite nice for now. Let's keep this like this. Now we're left with a bunch of kind of purpley shades and then these two kind of random. This is kind of like an olivey, cool toned olive, and this is like a really warm bronze. I don't feel like they really fit with anything right now, so I'm just gonna put those in this little palette by Nabla. Just put them to the side. And then I have this big palette by Colourpop. I think I'm gonna put the purples in here. And I ruined another eyeshadow. Just gonna press it back in a bit. I don't know what's up with me today, but I'm clumsy. I never used to ruin any eyeshadows ever, but then I started taking pictures of them, swatching them for YouTube, and like switching them around in magnetic palettes, and then these things started to happen. I guess that's just part of a YouTube life. So this will be kind of like the purple palette for now. Here I have all my purples together except the ones in the Lethal Cosmetics palette. I think it's fine just to have these kind of similar colors together for now because I already made some different color stories. Now I think it is time to clean a little bit, and after that I will show you all the palettes together. So what we ended up with. So I have all these older magnetic palettes that I'm not going to be using for now. I probably will keep these Revolution Pro palettes around, but I bought them because they were easily accessible for me and they were really cheap, but they aren't really like aesthetically pleasing or very like sturdy or handy. I don't really feel like safe taking my eyeshadows anywhere in this, but I'm gonna keep these around. These two, they look really nice. I had high hopes. Don't love these because I just keep ruining my eyeshadows with these. So probably I'm gonna give these to someone that isn't gonna like build color stories and doesn't mind that they put in their eyeshadows and don't touch them again. But for now, this one still has a highlighter in there, so I'm probably gonna be keeping this one just as the packaging for the highlighter, and then this I'm gonna throw away, or I'm not gonna throw away, I'm gonna give it to someone. And then I have this little NYX palette. I'm just gonna keep this one because one of the NYX single eyeshadows is in my project pan, and if I just want to take that one somewhere, just want to be able to use this somewhere else on the go, then I'm gonna be putting it in this one because I don't have any other packaging for that one. But it's not gonna be like in active use all the time, I think, for now. So let me just recap what I did today. I have this little Duo Goals palette by Give Me Glow. I think this is a nice place to keep my Berry and Wink eyeshadows. They deserve a special little palette for themselves. This one is already dirty. I just cleaned it. What's happening? Okay, so I have one of the Lethal palettes with this little color story in there. So we have some purples, some greens, some browns. If you want to see these eyeshadows in action, if you want to see swatches, I'm gonna be doing a video soon. So this was just like the unboxing and putting it in the palette. So I'm gonna be keeping this for now like this, but later on I'm sure I'm gonna be switching around eyeshadows and making more color stories. Then I have this other Lethal Cosmetics palette. This has this kind of warm toned color story with a pop of tangerine and a pop of green. This is really different for me, so this is quite a challenge for me to use. Probably I'm gonna see what kind of looks I'm gonna create with this, but I do feel inspired. It's kind of like grungy and warm. Yeah, it's really different for me. Then I have this little Colourpop palette with the cool tones in there and this kind of like gray shade by Nabla. I feel like that makes this palette a little bit more interesting. I feel like with these other tones it kind of looks almost like a green. We also have this glitter in here, this toppery shimmery shade by Nabla, and I feel like this shade over here, this kind of mauvey tone, makes it also a bit more interesting. I think this is gonna be quite an interesting neutral palette. I do have to remember that this shade is in my project pan and that I now have to reach for it in here. Then we have these two little shadows that don't have a home right now, but probably in the future I will put them in other color stories if I'm gonna be reorganizing my palettes again. Then we have this medium Colourpop palette with the blues and the yellow. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to do some looks with this. Probably I'm gonna do like 2 looks with this and then switch it around again. I think I'm gonna be putting this in my Shop My Stash, which you're probably going to be seeing before this video is online, so there you can see if I actually did that. And then lastly we have this big palette with the purple shades. All the purple shades, kind of purpley shades in my collection. There are also some kind of more nude tones, some more taupey tones in this palette. Probably when I'm gonna receive more purple single eyeshadows, I'm gonna put them in here as well. I don't mind having my purples together. I just really love purple and I can't wait to do some purpley looks with this. So that was everything for my organization video. I feel like thinking of color stories, thinking about what shade you're gonna put in what palette is still a little bit challenging for me. I hope it's gonna be more natural for me in the future. I definitely want to do more videos like this, do more videos where I create color stories. I just think it's a really nice creative process. As I said, I have more single eyeshadows on the way, so you can be expecting more videos like this in the future where I'm gonna be organizing, making color stories and maybe also duping palettes. I'm thinking about doing things like that. So thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed filming this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it and don't forget to subscribe. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Bye bye.